So today our topic of discussion is cash book. I will be discussing with you all different theory aspects of the cash book as well as single column cash book. Let's start. One sec. Okay. Subdivisions. Cash book comes under subdivisions of journal. Now when it is subdivisions of journal, it means there are 8 subdivisions of journal. The first one is cash book, which has single, double, triple column, as well as petty cash book comes under it. Then it is purchase day book, sales day book, purchase return day book, sales return day book. Then bills receivable book, bills payable book, and if nothing is left, no other transactions are left which can be posted over here, which can be written over here, then it will come in general journal or journal proper. I'll again elaborate. You see that when we are preparing our general journal and we do not have these books, these divisions of cash book, divisions of journal, then entire transactions are going on written in a simple journal. That is called journal proper or general journal. Then our volume of journal will become very big. It will become voluminous. That is why, not to avoid that, we have divided the journal into these groups. One is all about cash entries, that is in the cash book. Then all about credit transactions in purchase, sales, and purchase return and sales return book. This all will record the credit transactions. All about bills receivable, we have a separate book. All about bills payable, we have a separate book. And then if something is left, then only that will come in general journal or journal proper. Next is advantages of subsidiary book. So as I already told you, division of work. Work is divided among number of staff. So many people are doing the work. So it will bring specialization. It saves time because various accounting procedures are taken simultaneously. And most importantly, it makes the journal not so voluminous. Simple journal, we have a simple journal where general journal, it is recording only those transactions which has not come in the earlier 8 books. Out of these 8 books, whichever transactions have not come, that will be only recorded in general journal. I'll give you one example. Suppose depreciation charged. So journal entry is depreciation to machinery. It is not going to come in cash book. It is not a credit transaction. It is not a bills receivable book. It is not a bills payable book. So such transactions will only come over here in general journal. So our journal will become little less voluminous. Now comes what is cash book. Cash book. It is a book of primary entry in which cash and bank transactions are recorded in a chronological order. Primary entry means just like journal. Journal is a book of primary entry because recording of transactions takes place over here directly. In cash book also we will directly record the transactions. We don't have to prepare separate journal and then post it into the cash book. Though it looks like cash account. Over here directly the transactions will be recorded. It is a journalized ledger because it looks like ledger, but it is a journal. So its features are what? Only cash and bank transactions are recorded. No credit transactions will be recorded. Remember it. No credit transactions. Only cash transactions are recorded in cash book. It performs the function of both journal and ledger. Ledger has what function? To get the balance. Cash balance also you will get. It looks like ledger. That's why you will get cash balance, bank balance, which is a function of journal. And it also records the entries directly. That's why it has a feature of journal. So it is a journalized ledger. Question is, how is cash book a subsidiary book, that is journal, and as well as a principal book? That means why the cash book is called journal as well as ledger. It has a dual role. Here transactions are first recorded chronologically just like journal, because journal also we record the transactions chronologically, and it gives us cash and bank balance just like ledger. Clear? Next, importance of cash book. It provides cash and bank balance. It prevents duplication of work. That is, cash transactions no more to be recorded in the general journal. Kinds of cash book we have already done: single, double, triple, and petty cash book. We will be doing first today single column cash book. Before doing that, this contra entry I'll explain later. Can cash book have credit balance in cash column? This is the question. No. Cash book, cash column. Yes, Rishabh, say.
Sir, didn't understood general journal.
General journal are those journal which will not record cash transactions, which will not record any credit, purchase, sale, or purchase return or sales return. It will not record bills receivable transactions or bills payable transactions. Apart from that, if any other transactions are left, that will be recorded in general journal. As I gave you the example regarding depreciation. Depreciation to machinery. It is neither in cash nor in credit, neither BR, neither BP. So it will come in general journal. Those transactions which will not occur in any of the other journal books, they are all journal books, subsidiary journals. If it has not come in the 8 journals, then it has not come in the 7 journals, then it will come in this book. That is general journal. Let's understand, can cash book have credit balance in cash column? No. Cash book can never have a credit balance in cash column. It can have a zero balance in the cash box, but can never have a negative balance. Credit balance means negative balance. Cash book is nothing but a replica or thing that what you have in your cash box. If something is left in the cash box, that is reflected in the cash book balance. If no money is there, then zero balance in the cash box. There cannot have a negative money in the cash box. That's why cash book cannot have a negative balance. This is the format of cash book. You have a date, your voucher number, your particulars, ledger folio, then cash, bank, discount. If there is a triple column cash book, then these 3 columns. In single column cash book, up to this: date, voucher number, particulars, LF, cash. Voucher number also may not write, but date, particulars, LF, and cash, these are very important. Voucher number is nothing but the bill number. LF is the page number of the ledger, because again you have to prepare ledger of this. Bank and discount are the other 2 columns. Similarly, over here also credit column: date, voucher number, particulars, LF, cash. Up to cash is single column. If I write cash and bank both, then double column. If cash, bank, discount, all the 3, then it is triple column. Let's do one sum to understand single column cash book. This is our sum. Write out the following transactions in the single column cash book of Sid. January 1, Sid commences his business with cash 30,000. So what's the journal entry when Sid commences his business? It is cash account debit to capital account. If you prepare your cash account, you will be writing in cash account to capital, isn't it? So cash book is also type of ledger only. See how it is prepared over here. It is written to capital 30,000, January 1st. To capital 30,000. That means if you will see the journal entry, cash account debit to capital, you don't have to follow the journal entry. Always remember, this particulars can be your receipt side. Whatever the money is received in the business, that is receipt side, you can say. The capital particulars is receipt. Whatever the company, the business is receiving the money, that is recorded over here. And this side is the payment side. If I will say this is the payment side, you don't write payment, you will write particulars only. But this can be your receipt side, this is your payment side. All the receipts will come in this side, left hand side, and all the payment will go in the right hand side. That is debit. This left hand side is also called debit. I have not written debit, but this is a debit. Okay? And that is this side is the credit, just like ledger. It looks like ledger, but it is following journal rules, because you don't have to prepare journal separately to prepare this. Next, he makes sales for cash, rupees 20,000. So when you sell goods, money is coming in, and in cash. So January 2nd, 2 sales, 20,000. Directly we are writing 2 sales, receipt side. Next, paid wages. Sorry, he pays J Traders. He pays J Traders in cash, rupees 8,000 for cash. See? He paid J Traders in cash, rupees 8,000 for goods. So goods, if you have paid, that means you have purchased goods. You will not write the name for nominal account. You have made the payment, So buy purchase 8,000, January 3rd. Buy purchase 8,000. The journal entry is purchase to cash, or you may remember that you are paying the money, so buy purchase. Then paid wages 3,000. That also will come over here, buy wages. Then see, paid wages was there. Paid to J traders, we have done paid wages in the credit side, buy wages. Paid rent will also come over here as receipt of money. Received rent will come as receipt of money. So receipt of money is to rent 3,000. Due cash for personal use, so buy drawings. Due cash for personal use is buy drawings. That means money is received, money is being paid, buy drawings. Then by balance carried down and to balance brought down. Clear? So this is the journal. Without preparing journal, we have prepared the cash book. In the books of sheet, cash book, single column, you have to write. They have not given the voucher number, you should give voucher number also. Okay, let's prepare a voucher number even. I have to give a voucher number also. So here ends our this one. There is a homework also. One sec. One sec. Voucher number also. Voucher number is what? A voucher number is nothing but a number of the bill. Actually, everything is prepared through bill. So that bill number is this voucher number. Clear? This bill number is the voucher number. That also is written over here. LF amount and everything is written. So this is the sum. We have a cash balance in hand over here. In this cash balance, we have what? 41,000 left. So now your next homework will be this one. In the books of Sid commence business with 40,000. He makes sales, cash sales. Cash sales is 20,000 only. He paid J traders in cash. No, you write like this. He purchased goods. Purchased goods for 8,000. Purchased goods for 8,000 in cash. Nothing is mentioned, means cash only. Remember? Purchased goods in cash rupees 8,000. No name is not required. He paid salaries too early, rupees 3,000. See, name is mentioned, but still we write only salary. He received rent, rupees 3,000. Due for personal use, rupees 1,000. Almost same sum I have given. You will be again doing the sum. Due for personal use, I make, I change the sum a little bit over here. Due for personal use, entire amount except rupees 1,000. Except rupees 1,000. The meaning has changed a bit. Means in the sum, when you are getting 41,000 balance, you will be getting 1,000 as balance and drawings will become 40,000. You will do the sum and you will understand. I change the figures also. Instead of 20,000, I make this one as 40,000. Instead of 20,000, this one I make it at 30,000. And this one I make it at 18,000. So the figures are changed a bit. You will be doing this sum, students. And next day I will be doing double column cash book. Thank you, students. Thank you, students. This is your homework. This is your homework. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Please do the sum and show it to me. Thank you, everybody.